go on live. No, Prabhu, with your permission, we are going on live on YouTube. Thank you, Prabhu. Over to you. Thank you very much once again.
So thank you so much, and Prabhuji has already made my situation a bit awkward, because he said so many Maharajas and senior devotees come to this forum, and so sometimes you should have an odd man out. So that's why I am being chosen today. I'm not part of any of those league. I am a very simple, struggling, but fighting, practicing devotee, trying to practice Krishna consciousness. And it's wonderful, very wonderful to hear that this Chaitanya Charitamrita session that you're all doing for the past 5 years, it's so wonderful. Caitanya Mahaprabhu and his transcendental glories are something that are open secret. Not everybody is, blessed and benefited for that. So it is such a privilege to be in this forum. Whoever has considered me to be part of this, my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees as well as to those who chose me. We'll start with our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 9, the chapter titled Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Travels to the Holy Places. We are going to discuss verse 71. Of course, I'm sure we can discuss more verses, but I just thought we will limit to this only one verse and try to discuss some details and whatever little realizations that I would like to share. We'll read the shloka, translation and purport, then we'll go on to the discussions. Trimalaya dheki gela trikala hastistane Mahadeva dheki tangre karila praname. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. After visiting Trimalaya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sri Trikalahasti. There he saw Lord Shiva and offered him all respects and obeisances. Purport. Trikalahasti or Sri Kalahasti is situated about 21 miles east of Tirupati. On its western side is a river known as Suvarnamukhi. The temple of Trikalahasti is located on the southern side of the river. The place is generally known as Sri Kalahasti or Kalahasti and is famous for its temple of Lord Shiva. There he is called Vayu Linga Shiva. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namahum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanyam Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So once again, thank you all so much for engaging me in this service. It is so wonderful to discuss the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the assembly of so many preachers. It's a very appropriate forum when Ramananda Kanai Prabhu mentioned that you are all already preaching. So I'm sure as students of Chaitanya Charitamrita, we all have wonderful nectar to churn from every page of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. The very first shloka of this chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that Mahaprabhu had actually defeated the elephants of Kali Yuga, South India. To be precise, he says that yes, the people were as strong as elephants, but they were in the clutches of crocodiles of various philosophies. So Mahaprabhu, with a disc of mercy, converted them into Vaishnavas. So whenever we hear these pastimes of Mahaprabhu's travel, Vaishnava's journey, some anecdotes, we sometimes think that they are all just limited to presenting historical facts. But if you read between lines, it is much, much more than presenting historical facts. Mahaprabhu went to Sri Kalahasti. Mahaprabhu went to Tirumala. Mahaprabhu is going to go to different kshetras and finally is going to go to Tiruchirappalli and Srirangam. So what is there for that? Okay, it's a yes, he went. So we can move on. But let's now churn some nectar by diving a little deep into this. One of our old devotees, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, he mentioned a very interesting example of churning Prabhupada's purport. He said, Srila Prabhupada's purports are like milk ocean. When you churn the milk ocean, when the milk ocean churning pastime happened, so many things came out of that. Nectar came, Dhanvantri came, Lakshmi ji came, Narayana as Mohini Murti came. So when you churn Srila Prabhupada's purports, it is so wonderful that we also get so many wonderful ingredients. Sanatana Goswami explains, Sarva Sastrabdi Piyusha Sarva Vedaika Satphala. He is explaining Srimad Bhagavatam or the study of Vaishnava literature as Piyusha. The words, purports, explanations are just nectar. So Srila Prabhupada's purport is nectar, which gives us eternity for the soul. As nectar generally is glorified as that which gives longevity. But these purports gives us eternity, opportunity to go back to our life of eternity in spiritual abode. And second, Srila Prabhupada's purports, they cure the material disease as Dhanvantri, who is known as the doctor of heavenly planets and doctor of the Supreme Lord. So it has a Dhanvantri effect that it cures, Bhaktivedanta purports cures us of material disease. And Bhaktivedanta purports are our greatest wealth for our spiritual journey. Sat Phala, Sarva Sastrabdi Piyusha, Sarva Vedaika Sat Phala. In that same prayer, Sanatana Goswami says, Madeka Bando Matsangim Madguru Man Mahadana. Mannishtaraka Madbhagya Madananda Namostute. He says, Mad Bhagya Madeka Bandho Mad Sangim Man Mahadana. He is explaining Srimad Bhagavatam as the greatest wealth. So, from that perspective, Bhaktivedanta purports are our wealth. Because this wealth will travel eternally, not just limit to this life. And this Bhaktivedanta purports will eventually take us to see Krishna face to face. A natural question can arise that what is it that, because when we churned the milk ocean pastime and we heard that, there is also halahal wish came. The poison also came out. So how is it in this analogy that Prabhupada's purports churning? We will analyze that part so that disciple of Prabhupada mentioned very nicely that if we misunderstand and misquote Srila Prabhupada's purport, then that is like a poison. Because many a times we try to use Prabhupada said or wrongly apply, partially apply, or trying to use Srila Prabhupada's purport for some personal agenda, then it is poison. So every time we need to understand that when we get Srila Prabhupada's purport, we better try to churn them and nicely present the Krishna consciousness in a deeper sense. Srila Prabhupada personally has requested that all his disciples, they read his purports scrutinizingly. I'll just read a portion of a small portion of a letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote to Bhagavatananda Prabhu. He's writing, our process of Krishna consciousness, if it is followed with determination and enthusiasm, automatically it has the effect of fixing us, body, mind, and soul to the lotus feet of Krishna, so that all sorts of fluctuations of the material nature, all sorts of difficulties and discrepancies of life are easily withstood. But first you have to agree to understand the process and follow it up scrupulously. That is wanting. If I only think I know something, that is mental platform, or accept, reject, and any knowledge gathered from mental platform is like that. Toitering and precarious, and it can be immediately rejected at any time. Krishna consciousness has a great potency to deliver to the highest platform of perfection, but only if it is understood by intelligence. Something understood by the intelligence is fixed forever and cannot waver, and that is almost spiritual. So Prabhupada says that our purpose of this Krishna consciousness study, especially Caitanya Charitamrita study group, is to churn, dive deep into, introspect, reflect, and learn lessons for each and every one of us. So we have taken a very small purport, but we will see what lessons we can learn from this current context. We are going to learn 3 sets of lessons from this current context and see if we have some desire to apply them in our personal lives. The very first lesson is that why is it that the Supreme Lord travel to so many places and these episodes are recorded? It is to be noted that there are 5 types of holy dham. There are 5 types of dham. first dham is called the Goloka Vrindavan Dham, where Krishna eternally reside. Second dham is where Krishna came down and performed his pastime places, like in Vrindavan, Dwaraka, Mathura. 5,000 years before, Krishna personally came and performed the pastimes. Third dham is the dham that we as conditioned soul see. Because the description of dham is not the same description that we see. Chintamani prakarasu kalpa vriksha. Do we see Chintamani? Do we see kalpa vriksha? Do we see all those things when we go to Vrindavan? We have observations of so many things. We have observation of dirt, filth, pigs, monkeys, and a little bit of Krishna here and there. So whatever, according to our Shraddha, according to our Sharanagati, we also have a vision of Dham. So it's called Dham that individuals see. Fourth is wherever Vaishnavas go, whichever place Vaishnavas go and discuss the holy pastimes of the Supreme Lord, that place is actually a dham. And the fifth one is the heart of a Vaishnava is considered as a dham. So these are all 5 types of dham. And what is the purpose of dham? Dham's purpose is nothing but an embassy's purpose. We have an American embassy, Indian embassy, Australian embassy in a country. So when we have an embassy, you are all from Qatar, typically from India, but living in Qatar, that you have an Indian embassy. When you walk inside Indian embassy, you get the Indian feeling, you get the Indianness, you get Indian interaction, you get the Indian rules, you get Indian language. Even though you are in a foreign land, as soon as you step inside the compound wall of Indian embassy, it is as good as India. Similarly, even though the dham is part of this Bhumandala, is part of this earth, which is supposed to be called as a jail for conditioned soul, these pastime places are nothing but embassy. And when Caitanya Mahaprabhu is traveling between so many places, when sannyasis travel between places, when acharyas travel between places, it is not that they are going for a holiday trip. It is not that they are going for some excursion. It is not that they are just going for sightseeing. The purpose of them going is to deliver fallen souls and create as many spiritual embassies as possible so that we take advantage of that embassy and get our issues sorted out. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu, before he stepped out of Jagannath Puri, nobody wanted to let him go. If you know the background, I'm sure you all would know, because the previous chapter, when Caitanya Mahaprabhu expressed this desire to go to South India, there was a big demonstration, there was a big, debate to not let Caitanya Mahaprabhu go out of, Jagannath Puri. Because all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were so much attached and addicted to that association, they didn't want to let go of Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu said it is the duty of a sannyasi to not to stay in one place for a long time. So he wanted to go to all the places to deliver, to meet, to inspire. So when a sannyasi, when Srila Prabhupada travel around the world, when our spiritual masters, they travel around, different yatras, when the Supreme Lord has been traveling around the places, the purpose of this travel is to create an opportunity for people to take advantage of their visits and purify their existence. The same reason Why Jagannath is stepping out of the temple to come to the streets? It is the same reason Vaishnavas step out of their ashram to go out and preach. There are 4 types of sannyasi. Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajagacharya, and Paramahamsa. Kutichaka sannyasi means a sannyasi who just stay in a hut. Bahudaka means one who stays in an ashram or a larger community, and I may be technically not absolutely correct, but it is just little larger than he is extending himself to a community. And Parivrajagacharya means one who step out of his particular ashram, go to different places, those places where fallen souls are there, and try to deliver them. And the final stage is Paramahamsa, when he is situated in Samadhi. So, Caitanya Mahaprabhu's travel to all these pastime places are not out of any excursion agenda or a picnic agenda. They are meant for creating spiritual embassies where we all can get purified. So, my first reflection is to state that let us recognize the dhams. We may not be able to know, reach, feel, experience Goloka Vrindavan Dham. We have, out of our conditioning, limitation in accessing to that dham that Krishna performed the pastimes. And whatever limited experiences we have, we visit dhams once in a year, twice in a year. But the remaining 2 dhams are always available for us. Wherever Hari Katha, wherever Krishna Katha, wherever Harinama Sankirtana happens, that place we should immediately go, urgently participate as if we have no further time left in our life. And last but not least, we behave in a manner that we get ourselves entry in the heart of a Vaishnava. So, to get entry in the heart of a Vaishnava, we have to behave in a manner to get his blessings. So, my first reflection is to say, Mahaprabhu's South India Yatra is just not a travel log or travel log or anything like that. As blog and blog, people nowadays who travel and try to record them. So it's just not that. It is much more than a travel. It is to create spiritual embassies. So we are all blessed to go to those spiritual embassies. And thanks to our dearest A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he has gone one step ahead of Caitanya Mahaprabhu and created spiritual embassies even outside of India. Caitanya Mahaprabhu created spiritual embassies only in, Bharat Bhumi. But he left, one time one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, about Srila Prabhupada's speciality and his glories and things like that. He said, why did Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he being a supreme personality of Godhead, not preached all over the world? Why he limited himself to Bharat Bhumi? Srila Prabhupada replied, saying that he has left that project for me to fulfill. So thanks to Srila Prabhupada, who has created so many spiritual embassies, even in those places which is apparently not legally, spiritually, or socially permissible places, even there, these embassies are set up. So let us take advantage of them. That's my first reflection. The second reflection is that as a part of the South India Yatra, there is a very interesting, pastime that happened, and where in that pastime, it is very nicely explained about the transformation that happens in this yatra. So this transformation that happened is explained by a beautiful verse. Nashta kushtam, rupa pushtam, bhakti tushtam, chakraya. He says, Nashta kushtam. When Mahaprabhu, when he traveled towards South India Yatra. This is in Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 7. When he first began his South India Yatra, the very first shloka, Madhya Lila 7.1. Danyam ta naumi chaitanyam vasudevam dayardradhi nashta kushtam rupa pushtam bhakti tushtam chakaraya. He says, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being very compassionate toward a Brahmana named Vasudeva, cured him of leprosy. He transformed him into a beautiful man, satisfied with devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the glorious Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 7.1. So, the message here is Nashta Kushtam, Rupa Pushtam, Bhakti Tushtam. When Mahaprabhu is going from Tirupati to Kalahasti to, Tirukadukundram, from there he is going to Chidambaram, from there he is going to Tanjavur, from there he is going to Tiruchirappalli, Srirangam, Kaveri, and from there he is going to Rameshwaram, Madurai, Rameshwaram. So when he is traveling to all these places, what he is doing these three things. Nashta Kushtam, Rupa Pushtam, Bhakti Tushtam. Whilst it is explained in the context of Vasudeva, you all must have read about the story of Vasudeva who had this leprosy disease. And when he was suffering with this leprosy and Mahaprabhu embraced him, he was cured of that. But if you extend that towards the entire journey, we are all individual suffering souls. We are all suffering with an acute disease of material conditioning. We are all suffering with some sort of a chronic disease, as much as that of a leprosy, because of which we are not able to completely practice Krishna consciousness. This disease is somehow to be cured. Till we are cured of this disease, we will be rotating, revolving around this materialistic world. So this Kushtaroga, this disease, is something which we have to take very strong attention. So Nashta Kushtam, when Mahaprabhu travels through these places, what is he doing? He is trying to cure this disease of those who come in contact with him. He kills all the chronic diseases. Anyone who came in contact with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his South India Yatra, whomever Mahaprabhu touched, whomever Mahaprabhu interacted, whomever Mahaprabhu, gave his darshan, what happened to him? He immediately got transformed. Nashta Kushtam. His disease got cured. Whatever sufferings we had got cured. And what does it mean, suffering got cured? Rupa Pushtam. He got to receive a glorious appearance. He became Tejasvi. The person becomes happy. The person becomes bright. Srila Prabhupada writes in one place in teachings of Lord Kapila, teachings of Queen Kunti, in one of the places Prabhupada writes that look at the face of our devotees. All our devotees, they are happy-faced, bright-faced, enthusiastic. And Prabhupada writes, you please, see their face before they came to Krishna consciousness and see their face after they became Krishna consciousness. I would encourage all of you to go and look at the albums of your own picture before you became a devotee, after you became a devotee. We may be conditioned, we may still have our challenges, but before we became a devotee and after we became a devotee, we will see a significant change. Don't get, attracted to your own beauty, limit yourself. But then the point is, we have changed. There is a transformation. Srila Prabhupada was in Mathura This is the first time Srila Prabhupada organized a big Pandal program in Mathura after he came back from USA. Because Mathura Vrindavan happens to be a pretty important place for Srila Prabhupada, because none of Srila Prabhupada's god brothers, but for one or two here and there, none of them supported Srila Prabhupada. Everybody accused Prabhupada for his initiative of, going out of India and spreading Krishna consciousness. Out of all the ordeal, finally Srila Prabhupada came and organized a big Pandal program. And in that Pandal program, there's so many people on the stage. Prabhupada was in the main seat, and towards both the sides, he had 10 Prabhujis here, 10 Matajis here, all white-bodied, Western-bodied disciples, and Prabhupada was beaming very nicely, very happily, said, "You see, these American boys and girls, they have taken up Krishna consciousness. Even if you bribe them with $10,000, they will not give up Krishna consciousness." So all the devotees behind Srila Prabhupada, they were all beaming happily because Srila Prabhupada is appreciating them, giving them some accolades. And right immediately after Prabhupada saying this, Prabhupada turned towards them and said that, "Don't smile too much. Nobody has yet offered you $10,000. So what I'm saying is, when Srila Prabhupada is saying that our faces have changed, it's an acknowledgement, but it is also a responsibility that now we are not just an ordinary human being, we are a practicing devotee, and the whole world is going to judge what Krishna consciousness from us. Our family will judge, our friends will judge, our society will judge. देखो हरे कृष्णा में आने के बाद कैसा हो गया, या हरे कृष्णा में आने के बाद बदल गया. After coming to Krishna consciousness, he has become better or worse, depends upon. So our conduct is going to be important. So my point is, Rupa Pushtam. When anyone come in contact with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Pushtam, he gets transformed. Transformation happens. And that is not the end of it. Third is Bhakti Tushtam. The spiritual seed is sown in our heart. So much deep the seed is sown that we have a permanent seat booked in the train that takes us to Krishna. This is assured. So it is not that perhaps, it is not maybe. Each and every one of us who have surrendered to Srila Prabhupada will go to Krishna. Not may, can, shall. We will. It's an assurance. So, Bhakti Tushtam means we are all in the same coach. Maybe we are on the same train going towards Krishna, but in different coaches. We may be in 27th coach, somebody may be in 15th coach, somebody may be in 14th coach. But in the same train, we will definitely go to Krishna. And Bhakti Tushtam. So when Caitanya Mahaprabhu traveled towards South India, wherever he went, whichever places he traveled, all he did is, he did these three things. Nashta Kushtam, Rupa Pushtam, Bhakti Tushtam. He killed the materialistic ideologies. He transformed, like the way Srila Prabhupada transformed hippies to happies. Caitanya Mahaprabhu did. And Bhakti Tushtam, he definitely gave the supreme love of God to everyone. So this is my second reflection, my second lesson. So whenever we read Caitanya Mahaprabhu's travelogue, so we can understand that Mahaprabhu is not just traveling, he is transforming. He is trying to create an andolan, he is trying to create a complete team to revolutionize and make sure that the suffering people in this world are delivered. Last but not least, the third reflection. So this Caitanya Mahaprabhu's travel, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's project of delivering, is not ended with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. It has to be continued, and it was continued, and it will have to be continued by the students of and followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So any time when you are traveling along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because when we are reading this travelogue, when we are reading this journey of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are traveling with Mahaprabhu. Oh, now we are in Kalahasti. Now tomorrow we are going to, Tirukundram. Tomorrow we are going to, Chidambaram. We are traveling along with Mahaprabhu. When we are traveling along with Mahaprabhu and we are now taking people along with us, when we call ourselves as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, there are certain things that we need to keep in mind. Number one, we cannot be Gaudiya Vaishnava without being Vaishnava Dasa. I am called a Gaudiya Vaishnava only when I am a Vaishnava Dasa. If I am not a Vaishnava Dasa, then we will have a big problem. So Vaishnava Dasa or servant of a devotee. Vaishnava Dasa in turn refers to servant of our own spiritual master. So Gaudiya Vaishnava means Vaishnava Dasa. Gaudiya Vaishnava means Prabhupada, which means I cannot be a Gaudiya Vaishnava in ISKCON without being a follower of Srila Prabhupada. Gaudiya Vaishnava means Rupanuga. So when we say the word Gaudiya Vaishnava, when we are traveling in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we are traveling behind Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I said, we have an associated responsibility. So we have to become a Vaishnava Dasa, we have to become Prabhupadanuga, we have to become Rupanuga, and we definitely have a responsibility of Goshtyanandi, which means giving this knowledge that I have received, following in the footsteps, to everyone. Goshtyanandi means Bhajananandi is someone who is sitting one place and look after his devotional life. Goshtyanandi means he looks after his life as well as 10 other people's life. And the fifth aspect is, when we are calling ourselves as Gaudiya Vaishnava, we should learn to give credit of all our success towards our predecessors and take all the blame for the failures. So a Gaudiya Vaishnava is just not a Gaudiya Vaishnava, a namesake. They have to have these 5 attributes: Vaishnava Dasa, Prabhupadanuga, Rupanuga, Goshtyanandi, and make sure that I give credit of all the success. Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Vaishnavas ki jai. Not aapki jai, humki jai. We are not supposed to, think and look for a personal credit. All the successes of our preaching goes to our Guru Maharaj and our previous acharyas. And anything that did not go correctly in your devotional life, I am answerable and responsible and accountable. So this mentality is something that we need to carry as a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, I am following behind Srila Prabhupada. I am following behind Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What did you follow? I follow the politics. I follow the administrative, nuisances. Because many times when we are with our Guru, when we are with our spiritual masters and senior Vaishnavas who happen to deal with administrative things, there are so many problems we get to hear. And we come and discuss, hey, that problem, this problem, that devotee, this devotee. We need not show our interest in that. That is not our job. That is why when we are coming too close to a devotee, we have to be responsible and accountable. When we are coming too close to the Supreme Lord, when we are coming too close to a holy dham, when we are coming too close to a scripture, we have some associated responsibility and accountability. Since you are all preachers, since you are all wonderful devotees trying to practice Krishna consciousness seriously, I am sure you will agree with what I am saying, and I am sure you are already doing what is being discussed. It is for my purification, and for everyone's blessings, I'm saying what I'm saying. But the agenda here is Gaudiya Vaishnava means is just not I am wearing tilak, kantimala, shika, and I have a devotee attire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never endorses that agenda. Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada always encourages us as internalizing Krishna consciousness. The reason why we are talking about churning Srila Prabhupada's purport is by reading these, these purports, we should eventually become the real Gaudiya Vaishnava. Our template of external action are great. Our template of our internal action should as well be synchronously. External action, okay, Prabhuji, every day I wear a proper tilak, I have arati in this particular way, my altar looking a particular way. Great, glorious, great achievement. But what is the template of our heart? Are we trying to transform enough to say, I'm a Vaishnava Dasa, I'm a Prabhupada, I'm a Rupanuga, I'm a Goshtyanandi, and last but not least, I'm ready to give credit of all the success to my spiritual master and does not take any credit for myself. But anything that goes wrong, I will take absolute responsibility for myself. So it is extremely important that we learn to acknowledge that as a Gaudiya Vaishnava, as a follower of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, as the one who travels behind Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, we are responsible and accountable. So these are the three lessons that I wanted to say this. So to summarize our conversation today, this Mahaprabhu's travel to a South India yatra is just not a yatra, as Mahaprabhu explained, as Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami explained, that elephant-like South Indians are caught by crocodile-like different philosophies. So we are all carried away by our own arrogance, our own knowledge, our own panditya, or our own family lineage. This is a natural conditioning. So Mahaprabhu came and made all those things completely wiped out and established the Sankirtan mission. So we are all nothing but soldiers in the Sankirtan army, and our only goal is to raise the flag, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. With these three reflections, we are trying to reinforce in our heart, saying that we have a responsibility. The first reflection was about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travel log is to create spiritual embassies. And second reflection was that in the spiritual embassy, these three things happens. Nashta Kushtam, Rupa Pushtam, Bhakti Pushtam. And when we have become a Bhakta, what all we are expected of? We are expected of to become a Vaishnava Dasa, Prabhupada Rupa Anuga, Goshtyanandi, and definitely learn to give all credits to our spiritual masters and seniors and take responsibility for any mistakes. Thank you so much for engaging in this service. If there are any questions, comments, reflections, and corrections, I'll be happy to respond. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, please, again, it's Vaishnava Dasa, Prabhupada Rupanuga, Goshtyanandi, and
I am saying the fifth one is to take responsibility for our mistakes and give all the credit. If your preaching is wonderful, give credit to the superiors. And if anything did not go well, to please take blame on you. It looks like little dadagiri, but that's how it is.
No.
Yeah, सब कुछ मैंने अच्छा किया, उनको देते हैं और सारे. So the point here is that I'm sorry, I'm intrigued to tell a very interesting story. It's a very interesting story. This story happened pre-ISKCON days, somewhere around 1945-50s that time. So Srila Prabhupada was in Calcutta. He was living in Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane. That's the lane where Prabhupada's house was there. And Srila Prabhupada, that time used to be called as, people call him as Abhay Babu. Even though he was initiated, but his dear friends call him Abhay Babu. And Abhay Babu was already performing, already doing his pharmacy business and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra as a Grahastha. And that time already in Gaudiya Math, so much of confusions and misunderstandings internal fights have begun. So, Abhay Babu had a very close friend. His name is Dol Govinda Shastri. So, Dol Govinda Shastri is a Sanskrit scholar. So, he was also Prabhupada's god brother. But because of the problems in Gaudiya Mutt, they were all reclusing themselves and they, operated in silos. So every day, this Dol Govinda Shastri used to come to Abhay Babu's house to teach Sanskrit to children. So one day, when Abhay Babu came back from work, Shastri ji finished his tuitions and he was leaving home. So when Prabhupada was climbing stairs to go to his house, Shastri ji was coming down. They met each other. And this Dol Govinda Shastri asked Abhay Babu, Abhay Babu, I read in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writing that he is saying Russians, Americans, Africans are going to chant the holy name of the Lord and dance in the streets for Harinam Sankirtan. Do you think it is possible? Because already Gaudiya Mutt mein jagda chal raha hai. Problems are going on, misunderstandings are going on. So this statement of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Dol Govinda Shastri couldn't comprehend. So Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Babu gave a stare, gave a look at Shastri ji and said, Shastri ji, do you doubt the words of Acharyas? नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं है, मैं बस ऐसे ही पूछ रहा हूँ. Then Abhay Babu was climbing his stairs going up to his house. Then he stopped and turned towards Shastri ji and said in a very stern voice, some fool surrendered to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj will one day do it. But that's not you. I repeat, some fool surrendered to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj will one day do it. But that's not you. Saying this, Prabhupada went to home and Shastri ji left. This statement was ringing in Shastri ji's ears. Abhay Babu ne kya bola? What did he say? Some fool surrendered to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj will do it, but that's not you. In English, you refers to singular also and plural also. He said, you, is he referring that I will not be able to do it? Yes, I will not do it. But you also has a plural meaning. What is he trying to communicate? Is he going to do it? No. How can he do it? He is busy after his money, business, davai. So why he will do it? He will not do it. So the Shastri ji became completely bananas, not sure, what is he talking, what did he just hear? Years went, 20 years later or 25 years later, the same Dol Govinda Shastri, this time he was the head of the department of Sanskrit department in Ravinsha College, Cuttack, Bhubaneswar. So one day, the Shastri ji was coming in cycle rickshaw in the streets of Cuttack. He happened to see a very hefty, white-bodied Gaudiya Vaishnava, foreigner devotee, saffron dhoti, kurta, shika, urdhra pundatilla, kantimala, chanting feedback in the road. He couldn't believe. He stopped the rickshaw in the middle of the road. He ran towards him. Hey, stop. You seem to be a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Who are you? He was Prabhupada's disciple by name Bhagavan Das. So he said, I am member of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So the Shastri heard this. You mean this Krishna consciousness is international? So where are you, placed, and tell me more about it. But that person was going for a life membership meeting, making somebody life members. If you know what a life membership meeting is, anybody who is a life membership preacher is single-pointedly focused to go and collect the Lakshmi for Krishna. So this Bhagavan Das didn't want to get distracted. So he took Back to God magazine from his bag and gave it to Shastri ji, saying that this is our magazine. You read this. I am going for an appointment. So Bhagavan Das went further. Shastri ji had a Back to God magazine in his hand. He opened the first page. There was an article called Yoga is not Gymnastics by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He went bonkers. He said, Bhakti Vinod Thakur in a foreign person's hand. He once again ran back to him. How do you know Bhakti Vinod Thakur? Who are you? Who is your spiritual master? Bhagavan Das said, oh my God, what happened? He said, he's stopping in the middle of the road and saying something. He said, Hare Krishna, I am disciple of Abhaya Charanarayana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. And said, can I see him? He said, turn the last page of the Back to God magazine. So he turned the last page and there was Prabhupada's picture. Hey, Abhay Babu, when did he go to America? When did he start this ISKCON? So he was all surprised and he said to Bhagavan Das saying that I am your Guru Maharaja's god brother. So Bhagavan Das then and there in the middle of the road offered obeisances and said, I will cancel my appointment, let us go to the temple. This story has got a very significant impact in my personal life because of that one statement. What is that statement? Some fool surrendered to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj will one day do it, but that's not you. Let us analyze this statement. This statement has got multiple parts. First part is we should think ourselves insignificant in front of our spiritual master. Not just because I'm a Bhakti Shastri, I'm a Bhakti Vaibhava, I am initiated, second initiated, a preacher, I am somebody great. I am always full or I'm always insignificant, simple, insignificant servant in front of my spiritual master. So some fool. Second component is surrendered. You just cannot be a fool. Oh, I am so foolish. Because you are foolish, I am foolish. You are supposed to be surrendered. And third, surrendered to whom? Not surrendered to some Tom, Dick and Harry. Surrendered to a bona fide Acharya, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. The fourth component is when I am surrendered to somebody, what happens? Will do it, not can do it, shall do it, may do it. Meaning the blessings that we receive when we surrender to self-realized souls, the net outcome is sure, not apparent, not approximate. It is sure. The last component is, but that's not you. Which means anyone who has an iota of doubt in this cannot do it. So we feeling foolish in front of our spiritual master, surrender to our spiritual master, making sure we surrender to the bona fide spiritual master, and with that surrender, we are confidently performing devotional service for the pleasure of the spiritual master and knowing that anytime when I doubt this, I will not be able to achieve this. So the idea of we giving all the credit to our spiritual master is not just a matter of formality. It is not a political party's protocol following. It is a simple fact that all that we are made of is our Guru's mercy. I'm sorry that you may want to say something, but I just remembered the story, which is very significant in the life of a practicing devotee. So I just thought of saying this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It was really amazing. So many realizations and reflections from your session. Very heart-touching. And actually, if we meditate on some of these reflections, I think that will change our whole life and our perspective towards devotion service. So maybe maybe we are thinking like I'm thinking like I'm Krishna conscious for last so many years, and I did this course, that course, and as you rightly mentioned. So, but when we actually understand our position, then our perspective will definitely change. It is so nice relations, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your wonderful session. I think we have Sangeeta Mataji. Yes, Prabhu, something more.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Sorry, I'm not well. I have a bad throat. But I just wanted to know you used a word Rupa Goshti. Prabhuji, what is Rupa Goshti? You used a
Goshtyanandi is what
word
I say.
Rupa Goshti. Goshtanandi.
So he
Yeah,
said Rupanuga, then
Yes, Prabhuji.
Goshtyanandi means,
Goshti Nandi, Prabhuji.
are you saying that what did I say about Goshtyanandi? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Goshtyanandi means there are two types of devotees. One is called Bhajananandi, who is limiting themselves to their own personal sadhana and practices. Goshtyanandi means one who is showing care and concern to perform devotional life in the association of more devotees. He is interested in a community, he is interested in a group, not to just limit himself to alone. One is you seclude yourself from the world and try to practice devotion. Goshtyanandi is one who carries the mercy, goes around and inspires everyone, form a group and perform devotional life. The mood of our Vaishnava Acharyas, in fact, right from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he is very strongly propagator of this Goshtyanandi, where we are not supposed to just limit ourselves to our own understanding, to our own personal practices, which is good and important, but we should extend ourselves to others. Okay?
Secondly, Prabhuji, one thing more when you were explaining about Srila Prabhupada, like his spiritual master recognized his intellect, or that he would do great service in future. Uh, he told him only to go abroad, to step out of India and go and preach. So I think so in the first meeting we read about this, that his spiritual master recognized him. Like how was that possible that he recognized him to be so true, that after so many years or 2 decades, he was young, I think so, when he met him, and he just met him for the first time and once in life. So how his spiritual master recognized his potential, to have that potential in him to go out and preach? How he saw amongst so many followers, disciples, how he saw the potential in him, the caliber in him, to be so this thing, that how come he saw all this in him?
Um, when our vehicle is broken down, generally in the highway, if we are driving a car in general, when the vehicle is broken down, every one of us typically do one thing. We stop the vehicle, open the bonnet, and try to see if there is anything wrong. But unless you are an automobile engineer, you will not be able to understand what is there. But when an automobile engineer opens this bonnet, he will immediately see, oh, that is wrong, this is wrong, that is gone, this is gone. He will touch here and there, two things here and there, he will be able to figure out. That is the whole message of the vision of a self-realized soul, the vision of a doctor, the vision of a lawyer, a vision of an auditor, a vision of a teacher, a vision of a mother. How come mother is able to identify my child is crying for hungry, my child is crying because he has not slept, my child is hungry, my child is crying because of a mosquito bite or whatever that is. So what happens is that when a person is self-realized, which Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was, it is very obvious that he can screen through somebody's heart. This is the nature of a self-realized soul. A nature of a self-realized soul, Krishna, I always say this, Krishna is also a chashmish. Krishna also has got a spectacles. What spectacles Krishna wear? Krishna spectacles, through that he will only see his children's love. He always want to see, how do I rescue my children? Krishna's vision towards all of us is, we are all his children, we are away from him, so he is seeing through the glass, how will I rescue him? So do self-realized souls have got this chashma. What do? Which soul are innocent? Which soul is ignorant? Which soul is intelligent? Which soul is crooked? Which soul is demoniac? They'll be able to immediately screen. That is why when you go and stand in front of Krishna or your spiritual authorities, don't bluff around. You'll get caught. So the point is, don't tell Krishna, Krishna, I really want to help you. Krishna says, Rascal, jhoot mat bolo. I know your heart. You are lying. You are using me. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is a self-realized soul. It is not only Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. You will hear from so many Prabhupada's disciples. So many pastimes. Since you have asked this question, I'll tell you one small pastime. There was this pastime I personally heard from that devotee who is part of this pastime. So this devotee's name is, this devotee, I'll tell you his name in a bit. This devotee had a weakness towards sandesh, sweets. He had weakness towards all sweets, but specifically towards sandesh. He was a resident devotee in the temple. His weakness is so much so that he doesn't want to, think whether it is offered or not offered. As soon as he sees a sweet, he will steal and eat. So this devotee, his initiation was planned the next day. Tomorrow, Prabhupada was going to give initiation. The previous day, the pujari has made wonderful sandesh as an offering to Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So this devotee, because of his weakness, he went and stole the sandesh and ate before even Jagannath, the offering was given to Jagannath. So the next day, Srila Prabhupada was giving initiation. Srila Prabhupada was giving initiation to 13 people. So Prabhupada is calling the first person, says, tell your vows. He's giving, chanting beads and giving your name is so and so. Second, third, fourth. So this Prabhu's turn came. So Prabhupada gave the bead in his hand and looked at his eyes. He gave an eye-to-eye contact and said, your name is Jagat Chakshur Das. Do you know what this means? He said, this means Lord with universal vision. And telling this, Prabhupada explains, the Lord is watching all over you. Please be careful. For all the 13 people, only this Prabhupada gave this name as Jagat Chakshur Das and explained, the Lord is watching all your activities. This Prabhu, he shared this pastime during the Silver Jubilee celebration of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance in Vrindavan. And he was explaining that Srila Prabhupada saw through my heart and said how a chore I was. And that's the last day I stole Mahaprasadam in my life. I never stole Mahaprasad. This is one small episode. Like that, there are so many episodes where, devotees share that how Srila Prabhupada could see through. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita, spiritual master is a representative of Paramatma. And if Paramatma can see it, so do your spiritual master. So message here is, never bluff, never hide anything in front of your Guru and anything in front of Krishna. If you hide, anyway they will read it. So don't make a joke of yourself. Rather you open up, it might be helpful to you. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was such a person with a high stature that he could read exactly what Srila Prabhupada was up to. Did I answer this?
Beautifully explained, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Prabhuji, self-realized souls, they are called mukta souls. Mukta souls, I've heard. Those who are coming direct from Vaikuntha. Like they are
Mukta, liberated, and self-realized are, slightly two different things. Many people are liberated. It is said that all those who are in the part of the Sankirtan mission, they are liberated. You are liberated. All the devotees in this forum are liberated. Kaler dosha niderajan astiki eko mahan gunaha kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. Kali Yuga has got so many faults. But if anybody is part of Harinam Sankirtan, he is already considered liberated. All self-realized souls are liberated. but all liberated or in the path of being self-realized, but may not necessarily be up to that level of self-realization. There are more dynamics, more details, and more siddhanta to it, but I will just keep it simple by saying self-realized souls are those who are empowered acharyas, who are empowered by their guru. It is like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is empowered personality. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj empowered Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada empowered some of his disciples to do certain particular project. You look at those empowerment. This empowerment is something that makes them, successful. So all liberated Mukta Atmas, they are on the path of self-realization, but all self-realized are those who are untouched by materialistic modes. Okay?
Very beautifully explained, Prabhuji. You are a scholar, really. I don't know why young girls keep asking me questions and I'm not able to answer them. So, Prabhuji, are you there in the group, our group also, Chaitanya Charitamrita?
I am not yet, and I'm not sure, what group you're talking about, but I'm your servant, and whatever I'm saying, no copyrights attached. They are all belongs to Prabhupada, and they are simply, I'm repeating what I heard. There's nothing that belongs to me or with me. They are all, I'm just a postman, and I'm at your service. Whenever, wherever you call me, I'm ready to come and perform my service.
Beautifully answered, Prabhuji. Very nice class. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, once again for nicely answering Mataji's questions, and actually throws clears doubts of many of us as to understanding the mood of the spiritual master and how they are empowered by the parampara. And your the point which you mentioned initial part of the class is really touching, that the purports of Srila Prabhupada, how to understand, how to churn the purports. Even though suppose we are reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Charitamrita every day, every week. Every time whenever we hear from other senior devotees, we get a different realizations, different reflections. Like today, what we are having, that shows no everyone will be everyone who is churning Sri Prabhupada's purpose, churning Sri Prabhupada's mood, so will be definitely able to throw the bestow the mercy of acharyas on other Vaishnava community. So thank you very much once again, Prabhu. It is a great pleasure, and great pleasure, and it's a fortune for us to hear from you. Anybody else have any other questions, comments, and
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just as a fool I am asking this question, this reference. Actually, you said 5 types of Dhamma. One is Goloka Vrindavan, and one is the second one is Krishna came personally and performed the pastimes. Third one I missed out. Can you please tell me, Prabhu?
The third is the same dham that you see. Because when Krishna performed the pastime, Krishna came and performed here in Mathura and Vrindavan, where we go. But we don't see that dham, that layer. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the dham has got a layer covering. It reveals proportionate to our shraddha and surrender to a person. Everybody doesn't see the same thing. What Rupa Goswami saw is not what others see, what I see. So that is called the dham, which is revealing to ourselves based on our shraddha. That's the third one.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I got it. And the 4 types of sannyasis you said, that is Guru Chakra and Bahudaka.
Bahudaka, Parivrajagacharya, and Paramamsa.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Very well.
Anybody has more questions, comments? VP Govinda Prabhu, do you have anything to share?
Hare Krishna. Then we pranam Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, at this moment. Thank you. I will just pay my humble obeisances. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for engaging me, sir.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. We will really deeply have express our gratitude for your mercy upon us. We look forward to have your association more and more in coming days. I know you are very, very busy personality, as we understand from His Grace Nikhil Singh Prabhu. He is very kind enough to connect us to your lotus feet. Nikhil Prabhu, you want to share something? Prabhu must be in the office. Yeah. So thank you very much, Prabhu. So we look forward to have your association once again. All glories to your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha krupa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo
पावनेभ्यो
vaishnavebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत गुरु की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय।
His Grace Ramagiridhari Prabhu ki jai. Lord Pranam. Thank you very much, all the devotees, for attending today's session. It was a really wonderful session today. So we look forward to have association of all the Vaishnavas in the coming sessions. Next week, we are going to hear from His Grace Shyam Sundar Lila Prabhu. So we'll continue. Prabhu, which verse you stopped today?
I just did only one verse today, Prabhu.
Okay, that is 71. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, please include Prabhuji in our group, our Chaitanya Charitamrita group. Please include Prabhuji in that group also.
Yeah, Prabhu is very busy. I'll send a message to him personally. Then I'll take his. I don't want to disturb Prabhuji with this, so many of our silly questions, and so I'll take Prabhu's permission. Then I will do Mataji.
Correct.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks all the devotees once again.